Oh, yeah, that Nunjing was a lapala Perima chewing yellow, Unjunga Minani, Gonkamakashi, the Jaguare. And it tati lusote ne Ngaro on Bachanani lusote pay a pushing to use or the song do.
So at Tara House, so before the beginning the teaching on every Wednesdays, so we do a few minutes breathing meditation together, and I think that's a very good idea.
Jinse Karasena Mazo Tak Kashega Kunuyapu Chineni, Chinyan Kayungo, Kashia did Samba treating it in the Zonda Unaji. Lewina, Lansoti, Sambati Jichitongana, there's a Koyarova. Things are to move in Jungle, I mean a Goji, Jayana, Sambati, Lele, no Chanhoyore.
So because the everyone who come to this to listen to the teachings or to do the find out about this meditation practice, so all are very come here with a different kind of frame of mind. So maybe some they might have before coming to this listen to teachings, so there might be some things in their mind which may be very bothering and very disturbing for them, and those, of course, so there are many of you who there may be of you who may not have such a a disturbed state of mind. So this breathing meditation, so anyway, is particularly very effective for those whose minds are very not settled and not disturbed, to through this meditation, breathing meditation, then to calming those mind down and so make it suitable to listen to the teachings.
Ina Kajaya Chi Neung to Sala, Sambatra true mena, Chi Samba Shu Shamala, India, and Yorova. The Nigi India, Nikon the Java Shawana, Sambatsin no the Deaga, Ani Pinto Yores.
So even if your mind is not really disturbed or bothered by any things or any events, but also sometimes it may not be completely. It's not really completely stabilized, within yourself. So rather, you may have some sort of other external objects which may be. You might find it very distracting for the mind. So again, this doing this breathing meditation, so is very useful for them to overcome or get rid of this distracting mind.
Ani ta gonje to kamakashi de chipo imba tsegamare so shoda tandilo so sema machiwa da ne ji semba shilo no mo yin de tandi go ne kasla ya ani ji so kamakashi resa tani se de ta waina ni ramba ji ti konsona ani pependo yesares. So we will find this this meditation, like simple breathing meditations, very effective in this kind of in here, when to settling all your thoughts down, and so that you can direct all the mental attention to the teaching or to whatever you're doing. But also even in other time, even if you are at home and if you've experienced your mind has been very restless and you're feeling very there's some things very really finding it very disturbing, then
you can also, it is also very good to then do this same meditations at home as well.
Ani tinje karasana najin ngazo shibo mundi laite ani samba shibo yo maris. Ta ti jijen de karasana no to samba shirol paton ani shilone ani mao pal rewada ani chuen sampi go tendo somal toba ani tinji go chene ani samba mashibo yung go res. Kesi win junga la mine ani goji jatawana ase shiro de yima sola pa kan ho res.
So the breathing, meditations, where in we direct the mind, the mental attention on just on the breathings, and so so we by doing this, so we are replacing all the all the thoughts and other objects that we may have in our mind. So and this is sometimes this is such the change or discipline of mind is necessary, because when we think of the cause of our our unhappiness, when we say that when you say I don't feel happy, don't feel relaxed. So when quite often it's because our mind is the main reason. Quite often the main reason, the main cause is because we have a state of mind which is not really happy, which is not being disturbed and bothered by some things. So therefore, such as if you sometimes when we feel our mind is not happy or is disturbed because due to certain thoughts concerning the past, or due to certain things, concerning something that worrying about something that in the about the futures, and so therefore however when we sit in this breathing meditation, so we will be directing all our mind just on the breathings, and so therefore this will naturally stop all this disturbing thought to arise, and that's how we can appreciate the benefit of such a simple meditation technique in terms of enhancing peace and happiness within us.
Ane ni pe chala ni ngazo yun yung la mi pe konte ngazo pe le la wo yores. Karisena ngazo mi tsuma wi ya ma ta tel chaso konde yores. Je changa ni tela mi de na ni ta mi pa te ma je wa da. Ni tndi go pe le la wo yores. Mi pa jemba yil chi sa chi zogna tela kontizo yo ko mo ko shi wi ta de ko re. Te za yun yung la mi na and we
will also find that using the breathing in and out as some objects for our mind to focus on, so it is a really very very useful. And also you find it quite easier, compared to using any other form of objects, because sometimes there are other kind of objects of the topics where which if we have to use for the meditation practice sometimes, so we may not know. We may not have enough knowledge about those objects, and so therefore our mind is not really familiar with those objects, and so therefore it's not that easy, not a simple for one to then to
direct the mind on those objects. Whereas when we when we use our breathing as an object of our meditation, we don't need someone to introduce that objects, because we already know, already familiar with the breathing. That this is something that because we are breathing all the time, and so we know, and we are very familiar with that breathing, and so therefore that makes the using the breathing as an object, makes it very suitable for mind to actually to focus on.
제장아니 니랑 아주티 세마트이 되어 있나니 호텔같이 다로 운영을 하면 아니 거잖아 자트고요래 니 잠바다 미파니 개와나 니 단디질지 호텔같이 꼭그거나 세마트지 도몰레레지조지 꼭그거로 대마도 꼭그거 말이야 진짜 아니 소 세마트이 되어 있네 가서라 호텔바 가 운영을 하면 거잖아 아니 세마데 론서 팅고라 지저도요레스
so and also it's the reason why it's very good to start with a bit of breathing meditation, before the engaging in whatever your main activities, such as in here, our activity is to listening to teachings. So therefore, in this case, like particularly if before listening to teaching, if our mind is not really very distracted, it's not really mind is not really stabilized, then we would. And in that form of state of mind, if we begin the teaching, we will find it very hard for our mind to actually to focusing on the teaching, or to focusing on whatever the main activity we are doing. So therefore, however, if we, by engaging in these breathing meditations, and first we get rid of this disturbing thought, which is immediately causing very bothering or distracting our mind. So first by fixing that, and we will find our mind a lot more receptacle and attentive to the teachings.
제장한테 운영을 너도 좋다고 듣는지 매와이제 네 텔라텔레네 세시로도 이용하고 뉴아요레스.
And let me also say that there's another that added benefit of that using breathing as a meditation object is breathing is it is very suitable for mind to focus on, because, and also to prevent distractions, mental distractions, because as an object, the breathing as an object, it doesn't have like any like a form, visual form which has colors and shapes and so on. So because the breathing is lacking those kind of the colors and shapes, so therefore it makes the mind. It makes it's easier to focus on and to prevent the distractions.
자자 다 시동 고한테도 telata kare ngaso 시동 junenin diludani tani momboji sonjo erete ina zozo so getsi te sambodo chembo yaboji chene paji yuwa ina te kechembo jinsares.
And then there's also mention about the physical, right physical postures. Of course, in the scriptures, we find so many. There's a mentioning of so many of these many features that for the right posture, adopting the right postures. So what is the of all those features? So really, the one thing feature which is very important is the back of the body, which is said that we should, when we meditating, to as much as possible to keep it straight.
제장하다 위닝을 공인에 봐자디 살아니 위닝을 지부 telami 예선노 심바 마통아치 위대연 로소만 로티살만 로소소나 대지보를 소노 동거여레스.
And what we do in the actual in the meditation, breathing meditation, is to just to keep our mental attentions on the breathings, knowing, just knowing fully, or knowing or being aware that you're breathing in, and then knowing, just breathing out. And other than this, the breathing in and out, so you don't let any thoughts or any object to arise in mind.
제장아니 고 동보장에 든디나나 아니 든디지 미파 윌미니엄 고한제트살 위 중가제트살니 다 가시에서 저자리야 세마실루쇼 되겠더니 연구했어요. 이나야 아니야 데라 monthane 든디 이 고한데나니 약보 연구해서레스. So
as we begin the actual the breathing meditations, and where we by directing or placing the mind on the incoming and outgoing breath, and then we can anyone can do that, but however, how long we can retain or maintain this mental focus on the breathing, so that varies from person to person, and of course it's it is natural, that eventually after a few rounds of the breathings, and especially if you are very beginners, then probably we would lose this mental attention very quickly, and so that's something natural. It's natural, and then however when this happens, when you lose the focus, so what we have to do is simply to bring the mind back on the object again, and we do this, repeat this, process of, just keeping the mind on the object, and then when you lose it, bringing it back, and then as we and so by doing this, by repeating this process, then we become familiar with these the meditations.
제장안에 가시에네 동부공자리살라 능이 셈바데 실로 쉬고 쉬어놓고 태만 못 쉬어놓고 제장안에 깔래카도 연구문에서 했더니 연구에서래 대랑아 좋디 논지 있는 셈바시로도 이야 될네 돈우시라 지고 말아 디네가서 운징을 미래 셈바시로도 이야 될 돈우 제살 아니 대지 하고 온 거래 디 맞도 논지 될네 대지 미르도 차고 그래 네 논지 될래 뭐하지 네 셈바시로 쇼거디 나가 좀 돈우 지고 말아 네 돈우 맞지 진짜라 되네 네 드릴래 되고 맞도시네 kalekale yaal progress.
So as we do this, repeat the meditations, the more then we will, be able to, to maintain this our mental attention longer period of time, and then we find it, it will get easier, and so also to. We should also understand that how sometimes there are some people who experience that when they initially, when they first sit in meditation practice, they get so frustrated because they realize that how quickly they lose their mental attentions, and then of course they will try to try harder, and then eventually they get very frustrated. And So now the fact that this we have to understand. So if you experience such same thing, so you have to understand that actually the fact that you realize that you are there is this happening of the distractions occurring in your meditations. So that itself is actually a very positive things. So because it doesn't mean that sometimes we experience that in meditation, if there seems to be almost like our mind is more agitated, more distracted than in our normal day. But in reality, it doesn't mean that in normal day that we do not have much more like distractions or more agitation in our mind. So it's just that there were probably even there could be more there, but just that we were not aware of that, and so therefore we should not think that if we are not making any progress, or not benefiting, not gaining any achieving any result when this such a mental distraction continually arise in the meditation practice. So it's still worth continuing doing the meditation slows.
네 시동 가자이 난다 윤중을 미나 관자래 난다 간제 네 가서 둘루데 치파레 네 몽보지 요레 다트소니 디지마 저와도 발랑 가서 로라 카투도 와지 네 기회신이 된서 카투도 와 용어도 있어와 네 망가서니 지고쇼 쳐레스와.
So anyway, so this is just a very brief explanation for this just for the time beings, but we will find more detail about the meditation practice, including these the features of the sittings, meditation sitting posture, so forth. All more detail we find in the later on when we begin this in these Lamrim teachings, when it begins the teaching on the topic on the relying on the spiritual teachers, from there on, then we begin the teaching on the actual presentations.
Oh yeah, that ring gani tandak pshe wa noji gani tetsi kamachi kaji goinja yuruchisra.
So just for bearing in mind, what we've just discussed about the breathing meditations, what we need to do, and the purpose. So all these things. So let's do just a very the couple of minutes of breathing meditation together.
Thank you.
당가서 딩에 지시한서데 가와래서나 너네 다 치치체와스네 가르세나 너네 다 로르 토제지고 다 자와나 디숑주 론지데 말해대요래 숑주 론지데 메게 예대시 비카슬라 네 디네 네 도파니 세이소션데스 디카투데요래.
So now, as to the teaching on this Lamrim, so we have been talking about the greatness of the Dharma, and in here the Dharma referred to the Adishas, the Lamb text, the Lamb for the path to enlightenment. And so therefore under this outline of the greatness of the Dharma, so we find about the qualities, special qualities of these the Adishas, the Lamb for the path to enlightenment.
아니 단 디사제 디가스는 가르쳐줘야지. 현실 론지 데만라 때네 아니 제위 수라노 펜성 가와메 봐도 아니 수라가 제자집이 다 대화선도 동화라 수바 아니 가와메 봐도 더 그래서네 언더니 순jo야레스와 디가서도 또 빠지레스.
So one of the greatness or the quality of the dharmas is that the dharma, which is the Adisha's lamb for the path to enlightenment. So is that we would realize that that there is no contradictions in the within the teachings, all the teachings of the Buddhas, such as there's no contradictions within the three vehicles, or the contradiction between Sutra, Tantrayana and the Tantrayanas, and so in relating to this the qualities, so there are also in here the text also raise some question as well.
제장아 네 디가스는 가서 제위수라 간지 제지가 런타도 시에우스 질러진 디그레스네 시에요래 다 디가스 도바테 가르 디가스 도바 가르서 시에우스 선지 아니 런지를 좀 반대비 그 진세 가르레스네 아니 드니지 도바게 좀 됐어.
And so under this the outlines of this the qualities of the dharmas, that there is no contradictions in all the within the teachings of the Buddhas. So there is this text explains that how all the Buddha's teachings can be included into threes, included within three the three lords of that is in terms of the teachings for the three types of the persons, the person of great and middling and the small scopes. So now there is a questions relating to this, how we can show that all the Buddha's teachings are included into this, into the teaching or the stages of the path for three types of persons.
다 티진세 가르세나 시우 쳔비고 네 라자라 시와라 시운 린다 네 통무미고 라데 네 냐던 거거레스 시운 린도 통무미로 jel라 시와라 시우 춘이도 통무미로 냐던 거비 저거그레 세디살 다 텐도 귀치세 가르레스네 용 좋아 용주치래 됐어.
And so there's we can raise the questions, the of how all the Buddha's teachings can be included into these into the teachings for relating to the three persons, and then there's also then the next question arises, that is relating to, when we talk about the teachings or the stages of the path for the of the three persons, then we find that before we follow we are ready to follow the stages of the path or the teaching for the person of great scopes, then we must follow the stages of the path which are in common, stages of the path of small and the middling path, which are in common with the great scope. And then there's also then the likewise, in order to before one follow the stages of the path for the middling persons, so one must follow the stages of the path of the path which is in common with the small scopes. So there's also a question why this is necessary.
제장하다 제위수라까지 제지가 론 타도 시에워서 론데 그래서 아니 수제지 동보 투시 바드 조조 타망에 봐주바 수제 바데 세제 코니가 된드레스 지지 니라니 세제지 수제지 치순 바데요 네 세제 코네 된드레스네 네 지제 니셰죠
and so so to explained the reason why we can we can summarize that all the teachings of the Buddhas, that all the teachings that Buddha have taught. So in fact the very purpose why Buddha initially generated this altruistic mind of enlightenment, and then the having generated that altruistic mind of enlightenment, then engage in the practice of accumulating all the merits and the wisdoms, and then eventually to achieving the complete enlightenment. So it's saying that all this, the reason for all Buddha for engaging all these activities, are for the sake of the three persons, three person, and so in fact in short is primarily for the sake of benefiting other beings.
대 가르세고 알세나 동보니 세제저 저자 세제들라니 세제지 된저 발라니 년도도 타투 녜레 내가 년도도 타투 녜레 니요레스 동보 년도 하미고 공부 저들telani 수제지 치치니에 지순바노지 눈에니 아니 뭐겠지 보게 central 수바다 아니 도모이글로 못 봐라 수바 아니 순에니 녜티 공부 토픽 달라 데이터 쓴 거요. 그래서 년도 하미 공부 토픽 달라.
So the text explains here that so in fact it is true, for the sake of fulfilling the temporary needs and the ultimate temporary goal and the ultimate goal of all the other sentient beings, that the Buddhas taught all these teachings and also the achieving the complete enlightenment, and then the how Buddha now, for example, they fulfill the temporary goals of the other beings. So then to fulfill that temporary goal, which first of all, what is a temporary goal? Temporary goal is to place the other sentient being into good rebirth, higher rebirth, and then in order to accomplish that, then to teaching on the or discourse on the like such as the 10 virtuous, the practice of 10 virtuous actions, and also then like the teaching on the impermanence and so forth.
Ne nyele senge tela ne tawa do toje chema nye resro ne tawa dropale tsone ne swimbi ne tapina ne demba chela subada ane tindi go tawa to che swimbi go ne chitoche ne shewun ri chi kono ndo yo res.
And then as to the ultimate or more the definitive the goal of the other sentient beings. So there are two. So the first is the liberation, liberation from a state of liberation from cyclic existence, and then the second is to achieve is a complete the enlightenment. So now to the Buddha teach on the teaching on the like a Four Noble Truth, for example. So these are to help the other sentient being to achieve that the definitive or the ultimate goal of state of liberations.
Ani ta toje chemba dropale zone ta tawa do toje chemba ninu tawa toje chemba dropale zone ani swimbi ge chi ta seje da ani pashi tuila soba ani to toje ani tewa chimbi ge chinun de no ko res sheu chembo chinun de no yo res.
And then in order to achieve the ultimate goal of complete enlightenment, then the Buddha taught on cultivating like bodhicitta mind, or and also the 6 perfection deeds of bodhisattvas, and so all those teachings which concerning the other being to achieve complete enlightenment are categorized as the teaching of great vehicles. And so in this way they likewise the teaching relating to achieving the state of liberation from cyclic existence is categorized as the middling stages of the path, or the teaching a lot of the middling stage of the path, and then to teaching concerning the being to achieve the higher rebirth. So that is the small stages of the path, and so in this way we can understand how all the Buddha's teachings can be then included into these the 3 stages of the path for the person of great, middling, and small scope.
디고네 루두징고네 지시하셨는데스 간디 춘세나 아니 대화 첨보라 아니 뭐도 니 바시 대화다 니 송어 니어레스로와 데니 군란주 주고나 아니 그주 세시들레스 그주 세시 코나레스로와 shonchu sent ni gel shewala tombo ni sejela muzepi ne nijiti rokuresene tombo ina shet ni maji de machi yung dongji ro ba de she mu de sulu du mo de nije gures tombo nije tombo tewachi mol shubala seche gorwa tene nije gore nije shewala shewun ri gi ko ngel ro gore tela shew chimbi chung ngel ro gore sene tene ji she mu do wa ne ma denza ne tewachi mola hwa do par ne passion niche de kan ne juna yu jugo te ji seche resro ta tene jugo chi te ji seche de jala shewala ne seche ne dunga na wa muze be nije de ngel ro gore sene she des no nije chimbo de da ne
no. And so and in this text we also find the explanations of the three stages of the path in a reverse order as well, in a sense like we find in this Lamrim text that how it says that that all the Buddha's teachings, when you engage, talking about the entering into the great vehicle, begins with it how we enter into the great vehicles, then which has a two, like a path, that is the Sutra or the perfections of wisdom path, and the mantra, or the Tantrayana path, and then saying that whichever path you follow, the entry door is the one which is the generating this Bodhicitta, which is the altruistic mind of enlightenment, and then going backward, how to arise or to generate this bodhicitta, bodhicitta mind. Then we need to generate, we need to cultivate its main cause, which is the compassions, and then how to, in order to, then it goes like a backward or the reverse order. Then how where this compassion arises, it arises from the renunciations, and then goes back, how to cultivate the renunciations. Then it goes to these stages of the practice related to the person of small scope. So we also find that the explanation of these three stages in a reverse order as well.
Tandegani senchechi dunga nawala mazepi niji chimbo shewala di nya da shewun ring kana shepi ne runya khowa dunga so nji le to tenle shopi ni pa lama kenchu sala yepi ne ichi tso ngen ro ko hores.
Yeah. So as I said before, in order to generate compassions, great compassions for towards all other sentient beings, so one must first generate this true renunciations, which is and aspirations to achieve liberations, for oneself, and then to how to it is necessary to how, in order to generate such a renunciation, then we have to recognize the sufferings of the cyclically existent, and the and unbearability of that suffering, and so in this way we also need to recognize the suffering of the lower rebirth and so forth.
Chechanga ni ta tni ngel roge karesena runyang khwa du ngesu du ngalan ji ne tela thande che lo shu tropo ji mewa ina 아니 생제제 둥가 진나와 무제비 아니 니지슈 좀 보시더요 말해서.
So it's obvious that the without first having cultivated this strong the sense aspiration for one to achieve, to be one, for one aspiration or a desire to be free oneself, from this cyclic existence, and particularly the suffering of the lower rebirth, oneself, to free oneself from this, then and through this, then one can generate these renunciations, true renunciation, that is to and aspirations to achieve the state of liberations. So it's saying that without that true renunciation, the wishing to achieve the liberation for oneself, and that it is then there's no way that one can give rise to the such aspirations to free all other beings, from the suffering of cyclic existence. So, which is the really the compassions.
다 디그 드제 가르sunjo 디세나 아니 시힘본 콜로지빈도 시티시스 다드니 인도네 가르sunjo나 진천 투위가 탐 토요메나 자츠 첨보 칼랑어니스 태완이 주고문이나 태와침불로 바칼라니스 다 간제 된도도 마시 장지라 된도데 인도티누를 가르sun 거라서나 친춘슈드니 다 뭐죠 친춘슈드니 다 리올나서도 드리건 투 니바나 드리면 자츠 첨보 네 가란투다 그래서 아니 대화 첨부 대진다 대화 첨부 대화 충은이 주네 충어도 리니 보대 아니 로르 야보지 과마다나 아니 대화 첨부 대외주 더그 말해서네 아니 드린 돈에 드릴 수 있어요.
So it says with the help of one examples that how if one lack this really a strong desire or strong wish to be free from cyclic existence and free from the lower rebirth, because of the fear of being being stuck in there, being subject to this the lower rebirth or the cyclic existence. Without this, then it is impossible, or one won't be able to. One have no ability to then produce the such a wish, great compassion, which is the wishing all other beings to be free from the fear of cyclic existence and the lower rebirth. So this text, there's a quote one from there's a sutra. I think it's like something say like say Ningbo Kolo. Anyway, that's sutra. So where the sutra says that where sutra uses analogies of the how if one have no ability to even to drink a small amount of water, then the how can one say one have the ability to drink the whole oceans, which is impossible, so they use this analogy in the sutras.
대나지가네 러치밀류주 루존디스 대용 다 롱 대변 보시 등가 진나면 코와 쳐서 손은 또 그래 소소스 리 바쁘나데 동아 이거 드니지 셀 용기지 테마더나 아니 senjeje ni de po dunga jinna to interelni samagiju to tagayo mares susol trijimena ni lor chimoji duyo dusra.
And then also the text here also quote these some of the line from the Tsongkhapa's great treatise where there's a mentioning of how if one lack these the experience of these of the sufferings, of the awareness of the sufferings in this how of wandering in this within cyclic existence, as much to the point that it causes one almost like a goosebump, when you're thinking of this such a suffering, awareness of the one sufferings. So without such experience of the wanting to free, or from of the fear of this this suffering of samsara with respect to oneself, then it says that there's no way that one can then understand the suffering nature that other beings are undergoing.
Lama Tsonga Bene, Shenju, Ne, Tig Jinse, Ne, Shenju Zhongjiang, Dusrawa, Seche Teto no Lang, Rongi Teto on the Lise, Mulato Mamina, Genji Tenta Kala, Shes and Shesumishine, Zhongjiang Dusrawa, Seche Nochi, Seche Lata, Dungamazewa Shebala, Ting, Yad, Rongi Senja, Ni, Dungatani, Mulana, Maminani, Tajan, Kashi Tagaresine, Tatitendo Tinino.
And there's also, it is also mentioned in the Shantideva's text, Bodhisattva Chavatara, so where it says that if the this wish or this thought of wanting to free other from other being, free oneself from this cyclic existence, if such thought even doesn't occur in one's dream, then then what chance is there for one to have a thought of freeing other beings, from cyclic existence.
Tandi kanla ngaso karishe jontsena ni techela ni pasitewa do sunga ni yores teni kunla njuchun jugo te shonju seres ne tani jisu jondes.
Now, just before we come across this one area where it says that the whichever the path of the Mahayana, which is the Sutrayanas or the Tantrayana, whichever path you follow, but the entry door is the same, or is the only one, which is the Bodhicitta.
제자 현주지 산대니 송어도 파지테와 니가 네 대다 파지테와는 대체는 주고서 걸어 대니께는 주고랬으네 시전도 대인자 단 주고생에 때 가서 대체라 파지테와 누구 대체와 첨부를 잡아이나 아니 로녀 토네 마녀나 대화 준비 차트 써봐 로녀 마토나 대화 준비 차트 못 써봐 못 써비다 세시 들어는 주고서네 맞아 너 지금 세나 것도 내셔고 그랬어. So it says the Bodhicitta is the entry door to great vehicle, or to the Mahayanas, or sometimes we say the vehicle of also the perfection of the vehicle of perfections, wisdoms. And so for that, so we why Bodhicitta is the entry door to the vehicle of perfection, wisdom, or the Sutrayanas. So it's because without you cannot be call yourself, you can't become like a Mahayanis,
Mahayanis, if unless you have generated the bodhicitta mind, and so there is without this without generating bodhicitta mind, so no matter what other qualities that one may possess, you are not called, or you don't enter into the Mahayana path. So therefore, from this we will understand why the Bodhicitta is the entry door for Mahayana.
아니 바시 대회를 다 대체 대화 친비가 주고를 지고 그래서와 당아서 송어진 주고 생에대 아니 가르기나스 아니 원나 송어를 쉬고 있으래로 아니 단나 손주지 센데 시와 녀도 거기에매 로와 된 단나 주고 대화 친비 주고 뭐지 아니 송어 녀슬래마라서 그러 송어는 주발라 아니 이지메지 쇼주지 세그요라베스.
So in another word, so from the point of view of the Sutrayanas, or the vehicle of perfections, then we can clearly understand the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the entry door, because without which we cannot we don't enter into the Sutrayanas path, or and so we must have that. So now in here the bodhicitta is also said as the Mahayana door, even from the point of view of the Tantrayanas. So this we need to think about. We need to because we need to ask this question: whether is it what does that exactly means?
제장아니 나쪽은 다 라마 침부잖아니 송어거든이 완다더니 쉬네. 아니다 송어더니 녀슬랜데 거리서와 뭐뭐 보시고. 아니 다들 졸라니 이쯤에 쇼주 세면은 아니 다들 손주 주고요 말아베스.
So the question is that if whoever cultivate the have generated the bodhicitta mind, doesn't of course doesn't automatically enter into the tantric path, tantrayanas. So that's the one. And the other question is, normally we as a way to enter into the tantric path, so we go and take receive the initiations, from the lamas, and so therefore we have to ask this question that we are, unless if we have not cultivated the bodhicitta mind, if we don't have the bodhicitta mind, then are we not suitable to receive the initiations to enter into tantric path.
제가 디노라 아니 송알은 현주지 산데 송알은 집이 고순 연도 있어와 다 송알은 집이 고이나 송알은 집발한테 토방해도 거라 코타고 거라다 아니 다때 딩엘은이데 저런서 또 돈을 지세는 라비니 돈무지 지지나 쉬어야지 상대스.
So as is said here, the bodhicitta is the entry door to tantra, tantric path. Then we have to say that we must, in order to enter into the tantric path, we must have the bodhicitta mind. So without bodhicitta mind, or with the bodhicitta mind, so we cannot enter into tantric path. So they actually I raised this question in the last week's teaching, so maybe some of you might have already given a thought on this.
I think the answer is because you have to have the desire to quickly and more quickly achieve enlightenment on the basis of bodhicitta to then enter the Tantra path.
So you're saying you must have bodhicitta?
Must have, yeah.
But,
yeah.
semje guwa res, guwa masi wadu jewa nyurwa sesh, semje tabu kuwa, shukchibo kuwa res.
Tandi guwa ya na, nga tso tanda unshu ngo nyos lehet, so ngo lan jupa marabes.
So unless we all have all of us who have received initiations, we all have a bodhicitta mind, right? So otherwise, we have received the initiation, but we are not. We have to say we are still not yet into the tantric, Tantrayana. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that ngal shu is mal. But we are practicing.
But we are practicing.
Yeah, nga nyams lingu yus. Nga ki at the tekwala shu me so.
Tewal shu me. Barda te ngol shu me ni ngol nyos lembate ngol shu alan ro marisi gore.
So you're practicing. You're engaged in the tantric practice, right? Do you do tantric practice? So anyway, so you're saying that doing tantric practice is not sufficient to qualify to be into the tantra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ona twa jambaji pika ko jana tigito ni ona shonju ji se she wa to ni ngol nyos lengre ve chawa yore vestel.
Yeah. And then so that's the one question. The other question is we can also ask if the as he says here, if the bodhicitta is the entry door to tantra, right? And then are we going to say the moment we generate bodhicitta mind, we also enter into tantric path?
No.
The message.
If
no, then it doesn't satisfy the meaning to be called bodhicitta as the entry door. You have cultivated bodhicitta, but still you are not into that tantric path. So therefore, bodhicitta cannot be called as a entry path.
It's not the only requirement.
It's not an entry path, yeah.
It's not the only requirement.
But the chipo marese is so you sem chipo ke ding mu so da nga shwa.
Ta de ne sunji sem ko na yi se chon dewa. Jugo senge de nga se kar la go sena. Ani tewa chembiol jugo sege tere ronya to ne manyona tewa chembi trat sen do gres. Noni ta nyosona tewa chembi trat no tsu marese go ro ta. Ta shonju ji se te sungol se kapo itere la jugo senge te ne shonju se she sona sungol jugo gre. In fact, in the text is use the word only.
Only.
Use that, okay. And also normally when we say like a bodhicitta is normally we say is the entry door to Mahayana path, right? And so because it's the entry door, so the whoever have possessed the bodhicitta, so they are in the Mahayana path. But however, when they lose the bodhicitta mind, then they are off the Mahayana path. So that's the meaning. So, but however, when this is why we have a problem now here. When we consider bodhicitta is the entry door, but it doesn't. We cannot understand how it is. For the tantric, tantric path.
The person is also required to be accepted or enter into the mandala, or has to enter the tantric path.
전주 쌤 지고고 되게 먼저 쓰고 있어요.
단내는 집어 것이죠. 집어 있으죠.
Yeah, it says here the word
코나시 현지세 코나니.
Yeah, the Bodhicitta is the only entry door.
Yeah.
It just says that here.
There is no other entry door.
Yeah.
대세기들 현지세 유고리 세기들은 현지세시는 ngol 주바 저거라다.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the we have to, you know, if something is if the Bodhicitta is now.
ngol manju hel 현지세시 그랬더니 깨져 말다. 네 유고리 세기들은 네 현지세시에서나 네 ngol 주 그래서. 네 현지세시 마서는 ngol 주가 자요 말에서 때려.
So this is talking about the entry door. That's what we are trying to make to understand. Entry door is something which, if something is entry door, when you go in, you are in. You know. So the Bodhicitta is the entry door to Tantra. So when you, you know, when you have the Bodhicitta, then you are in the entry door. Yeah, you are into the Tantra.
Yeah.
This is what we're saying here. Otherwise, it doesn't make more sense how it can be entry door. No?
So, whoever has bodhicitta has then entered the Tantra path. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's, I think, just raising a question here. Chanju said, "Sui gyula yoba ina ko shuba revela wisa."
그래서 내 것이 되려서 그 봤던 거였어.
Yeah. Because right now he's asking question.
Well, I would say it is not true that whoever has bodhicitta has entered the Tantrayana path.
You're saying not?
Not.
Because they not shugu에서 말해서.
And then you go to Matandigo.
Then how you going to explain? And then what is said here is not correct. It says here, bodhicitta is the entry door. It's the only entry door here. No.
Then we Lama Tsongkhapa
it also says in the Tsongkhapas, you know, 3 tries to pray 3 tries.
So, to enter the Tantrayana path, you must have bodhicitta.
Well, I mean, that's how we have to interpret it. But what it says in the Tsongkhapas Lamrim and also in here is bodhicitta is the only entry door to both, you know, Sutra and the Tantra.
Yeah, there is no other.
Well, that's what it said.
당가 정화는 주마 소화했다. 당가 정화는 주마 소화서. 우거다더니 우거나다 진고는 쉬고 그러와.
So according to here, so we all have, you know, whatever we might have taken initiation, whatever we have practiced, we done, but not yet enter, unless we have generated. Yeah. We have got the bodhicitta, we have not entered the tantra yet.
Yeah. 네, 다 개파 전부터는 우스마이나니 대화라 슈바종 세고만 단단가서 그것도 맞아 화라 슈고요. 뭐냐서 내와이서 뭐 슈고요. 그래서 아니 단다 대시 화라 슈무시게 되셔도 화라라 슈무시게 되시는도 있어. 라라.
So there's some scholar who makes the difference in terms of the enter into tantra and then enter into the tantric path, you know, use the word path. So they interpreted this here as you know, the bodhicitta as an antidote to tantric path. All right, and so from this perspective, then we can say we have enter into tantra, but not into tantric path. Yeah.
맞송하는 주바를 살아서 대인자다 다 텔라요 네 센테 holland 주비가 holland 주빈 주거리 세나요 아니 쇼주지 세시와도 holland 주빈이 커버 와스 와 대인자 텔라고 또 빠지요레스
Of course, then we can still raise the same question, even if you say bodhicitta is the entry door to tantric path, tantric or the mantric path, we still have the same question. Raise the same question, which is to say that, you know, the whoever generate
whoever generated possessive bodhicitta, then we have to say they enter into tantric path
as well. Yeah. Same problem.
Yeah.
Tela to payores roa.
Yeah.
Then that the tikol channel so tetsi.
Yeah. So you can have a go on these questions, but this is mentioned in the Tsongkhapa's great teachers and also mentioned here. And so how, what does that mean here? Yeah. And we will come back to this same, discussion in the next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Sonju Zenjo Ramboji Maje Pano Jeju Shewa Nyamba Mepa Kune Kundo